Hi everyone, it's Nina. Today I've decided that I'm going to tackle art journal prompts. I'm a couple behind. I've got the magazine page to do and also the latest one, which the theme is what do you do to relax. Now yesterday I tackled mixed media morsels prompt, and that was paper strips. And I used my jelly prints and tore them into pieces and put them on here, and this is the page that I created. If any of you have seen my video, I was compelled to do more doodling. I just couldn't help it, and it's got a few more doodles on it than it did at the end of the video, but that's it. There's no room for anything else, so it's staying like that. But I just love the background, and seeing as I'd got quite a few of the torn strips left over, I've decided to use them. Let me just move that out of the way. I've decided to use them for art journal prompts. And so I've torn the strips into smaller pieces. Let me show you what I've used for those who haven't seen the Mixed Media Morsels video. These are some jelly prints that I did on deli paper a while ago. In fact, this is a pack of tracing paper from a kids' school supply store, TTS in the UK, I think it's called. And I'll just flick through some of the prints that I've used, and you can see where I've torn the strips off. There's some metallic and iridescent colours here, as well as just flat matte colours, so a real mix, but nice and bright and colourful. These are made using textile fabric sprays through a hot glue gun homemade stencil. So those are some of the prints that I've used, and as I say, I tore them into strips, then tore the strips into smaller pieces, and I'm going to go off camera, grab my Mod Podge, and I'm just going to randomly place these on the page, and as soon as I've done that, I'll come back and have a think about where we're going to go next. Right, so all the pieces of paper are now glued on, so I'm just going to unstick this from the deli paper underneath, give it a quick dry with the heat gun, and then I shall trim all the edges. Then I shall get my shimmering paints out just to touch up some of the white areas, so I'll be back for that. Right then, the edges are now trimmed, and I've got my homemade shimmering watercolour paints at the ready. These are some shimmering paints that I made from mica powder, and I mixed the mica powder with gum arabic and water, let it set in this cheap ice cube tray that I got from the local supermarket, and I've got a whole range of shimmering watercolours now, and they work an absolute treat. They're similar to the H2Os and oh gosh, what are the other ones that you can buy, but I'm just going to touch up some of these edges. Like here, I've got a bit of white space, so I'm going to grab a bit. Let me just put it there so that you can see. So I'm just going to touch up some of these edges. In fact, where's my greaseproof paper gone, just so that I don't get it on the edges underneath. So I'm just going to touch up along the edge here where I've missed, just to tidy things up a bit really. I'm just looking now to see if I can see anywhere else. Let me just change the colour. I want to do a little bit, where did I see it? Oh, here. So I want some red. I'll use this. It's going to add a little bit of sparkle as well, isn't it? I'll just use a little bit there. I can use some here as well. I can use a bit down the edge. Then I can maybe bring in some green. As I say, just to sort of tidy things up a little bit on the edges and get rid of that dreaded white space. think that's probably, oh here we go, a little bit more down here. Let's add some blue actually. Let's go in with this lovely, see I'm contaminating all my colours, aren't I, a naughty girl? I'm at a weird angle here, trying not to get my fingers in everything. Just having a quick look to see if if there's anywhere else I can stick some, and I think I'm going to leave that be now. Yeah, that looks good enough to me. Just looking again, just to see if there's anywhere else I can add any. And in fact, I think I'm going to go over here with some of the pink as well. Which pink shall I use? Not really the right shade, but that'll do. And I'll just go over this edge over here. There we go, so that's added a little bit of shimmer anyway. Stick some down here again. It's not really the right shade, but we've got so many colours going on here, it just doesn't matter. I'll add a bit down the bottom here as well. Right, so I'll dry that, and then I'll be back again. I don't know whether you can see this, but I've just decided to go in a couple more places with some more of the shimmering paints. I just love the sparkle that it gives, and just decided I just wanted a bit more of it. It gives it more of sort of like a patchwork quilt effect, but if I tilt it, there's so much shine in these mica powders. So that's what I've done, and that's now dry. So I'm ready to assemble all my bits and pieces to go onto the next stage. Right, I've grabbed a few bits and pieces. What I have decided to do is use some of these Stuart Gill paints, these metallic paints that I've got. I got these on clearance. I think the sell-by dates have gone on some of these, and they were reduced to 50p in a bargain bin. It's textile paint. But I want to make some random circles just to add a bit more interest on this page, and I've just put some on my glass palette, just using my little spatula thing here, and I've got some circle making tools here, just some lids of deodorant. I think these are deodorant. That one's off one of my spray bottles, and so I'm just going to make some random circles on the page. I'm going to change colour. Let's go with this lovely bright, which one's this? Solitaire I'm using now. This is sort of like a really gorgeous bright yellow. Whoops. We'll do there, so let's swap that one over, and then we'll go in with, I'm using Tranquility now, which is sort of like a very pale yellowy green. Just being really random about where these go. There we go, dab that off, and then I think I'll go in with the smaller one again, and I shall use the bright gold. And then I'll come in with the whoopsie-daisy slightly, yeah, I'll use this medium one again, and I'll just use the copper. and I think I'm going to leave that be. I've got my stylus here, and I thought that I might just do, in fact what I want to do is just put a couple more smaller circles over here. And then seeing as I've got paint left, let's try going in there with the stylus. No, I don't like that. It's too bumpy. That's not going to work, so I'm going to wipe that off. So I'm just going to mop up some of this paint. I've got some blank pieces of paper and things here, and some that I've been stamping on, and I'm just going to clear up some of this paint and dry this, and then I'll be back. Right, now I've decided to make up my page with a load of words this time. It was really difficult to think of a sort of one particular thing that I do to relax, and so the idea came to mind that I could print off a lot of words and place them randomly on my page. Initially I went on to Word, and using different fonts and a mixture of upper and lowercase, I printed off the words that you can see on white paper. Positioned those on the page, but I had the same problem that I had yesterday, where they just faded into the background, but I didn't want all black, so I grabbed some of my black card and my white Uniball pen, and I've just written some of the words, again using a mixture of upper and lowercase, on the black card, and I've cut round that, and that's much more pleasing to my eye. So what I want to do is go round the black words using my Posca paint pen, just round the edges to make those stand out, and I shall do the same with the white, but I shall go round with my black ink pad, and then I shall glue them onto the page, and then I shall come back. This is how my page is looking at the moment, and I'm quite pleased with it. I've made a few additions. I've added some more of the circles around the edges, just felt that it needed it, so I've done that. And I've made a mistake as well, so a tip to you all. I used Pritt Stick to glue the words on, and to be honest, you can see where some of the glue residue is left behind, and also that I didn't think, and I should have done, because I have used my white gel pen, I can't go over this with matte medium because it will smudge. This is not waterproof. So I've created myself a bit of a problem really, because it isn't stuck down brilliantly in a couple of different places. So I'm going to have a think about what I want to do, whether I peel it off and put glossy accents or tacky glue, or whether I just leave it be. But what I'm going to do to this now is I'm just going to put a black border around the edge with my Posca pen, so I shall again go off camera and do that. But I wanted to show you, let me just move that out of the way, with the paint that I had on my palette. I've cleaned it off now. I mopped up using some just little pieces of paper that I've got lying around. That was one of them, and look how pretty that is. And because I use my glass plate as a palette, I've got a dendritic effect. I don't know whether you can see it. That was another one that I did. That was the heart, that was the template that I did when I was having a go at doing the face for last week's challenge. That's, in fact, no, that one is some of the watercolour where I wiped off my brush. That's got a bit of the gold on it, as has that one, or gold, or the bronze. That one's got some of the blue, gold and bronze. These are just so pretty. Some of these have paint down already. There's that one, and oh, these have glued together. That's a shame. Let's see if I can peel it off. There we go. And there's that one as well. So I've got some pretty papers to use for something else at a later date. So nothing has gone to waste. So back to this one. As I say, I'm going to grab my black Posca paint pen, just do a scalloped border around the edge, and then I'll be back to show you. Right, there we are everyone. There's my finished page. All I've done is I've put a scalloped border around the edge using my black Posca paint pen, and then I've gone in with some white dots with my white Posca paint pen. and I'm going to call that done. I think that's really pretty. Really glad that I've managed to use up all those leftover scraps. I think I'm going to have to go and stalk Pack a Dive for the magazine challenge. It's not really my thing, and I don't know, I sort of really want to sort of do a page justice, so I think I'm going to have to go and stalk a couple of people first and see how it's done, but I will do it. See you all again soon. Take care, bye for now. Oh, before I go, for those of you who don't know about the art journal prompts, go and check out Deb Packwood's Artzology's website. She's running a Facebook group called Art Journal Prompts, and it's a really, really brilliant group. She sets a prompt every week, and then you've got to produce your page based on that prompt. This one was, what do you do to relax? And hence sort of all of these words that I couldn't think of just one thing that I do to relax. So there you go. Go and check out Artzology, Deb Packwood. See you all again soon. Bye for now.